Funny. It's preparing. Let me know what you see. You can say hi when you see it. Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. Here it is. Redirecting. Funny. Oh. It's preparing. Let me know what you see. Okay. So we are live on YouTube and Doug's going to restream it into our Facebook group, Team Transformers. Today we're just going to share a little bit about our event that we had, and then we're going to share an awesome question that we're going to address about maybe we're really good at getting customers, but we need to get better at getting team members. What's the difference and how can we go about it? So today is Monday, the what? 19th of May. And just to remind us all, we had the reset extra thing. If we got orders over the weekend, there's going to be a drawing for those people. 4 people will win $250. So when the company is doing that, are you guys thinking, well, maybe the company's like, let's really, get the people going. Maybe not everybody's been putting in orders lately. Like, think about it. If you were in charge of the company or your whole team and you wanted to get them focused for the rest of May on this awesome deal that you just gave them, what would you do? You would come up with an incentive or a drawing. So take the message from the company. They want us to focus on the Reset 25, where we have Trio Blend and we get 2 boxes Illuminate and 1 bag of Shake. So we want to go back to our customers that we had in the past or our team that we had in the past who will really know how awesome of a deal it is. Maybe they haven't even tried Illuminate, but they know the capsules, they know the shake. And then also obviously prospects that you have. So really getting your data together so that you can reach out to people for the rest of the month. Remember, today's May 19th. 30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest of 31. So we have 31 in May. That doesn't give us a whole lot. That's like 12 days to really take advantage of this Reset 25 with the free product. And yes, you can add a child on as well. So you have to go into the children's health study or family health study area. I think it's under more info now. Find that, press on that, find what the adult wants and everything. And that's where you're going to find the reset bundle under the Healthy Starts for Families. Okay. So that is the big deal right now, the Reset 25. And it's to get us ready for the company really helping people get healthy in June with those extra guidelines of the reset. So this is all to get everybody to get their supplies in May and start the reset in June. All right, so that's the big news right now. And then I'm going to just share my screen as far as this poster that we made, and it was Doug's idea over the weekend. Where is it? Okay. He planted a bunch of seedlings for one thing a couple of weeks ago, because we were getting our tower gardens up and running and everything after winter. And then our peach tree was blooming. So we like to give things away in the neighborhood. You could use your own neighborhood, announcement thing on Facebook and see if people want to come over for whatever you have in abundance. So we always have an abundance of something. We had basil, we had jalapenos, we had peaches, and we had seedlings. So we didn't charge people. Sometimes we would charge people for seedlings if we've already been doing seedlings Saturday, but we hadn't. So, but the whole point is to get people over into our world to see what we've got to offer, to see, do you want to come to a sourdough class? Because we're having conversation with them, to see people who get excited about produce, like those people are a little bit of an anomaly, especially in Jacksonville. Just kidding. But
Not
anyways,
kidding.
just kidding, not kidding. So, you're qualifying the people you're talking to by them coming to these things. And they might be farmers, but they're having trouble farming, but they're going to go try to plant the seedlings but they've seen the tower grow. So over time, it's, exposure to everything. And so that was really great. And Doug, you want to comment on how it really
Well,
did take a lot of extra food and
yeah, I mean, I just want to say that the conversations are really good that we end up having because we're there. So about 4 weeks, these seedlings are probably 4 weeks old, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. And what we do is when I know I'm gonna do my new tower gardens for spring or whatever, and I don't know how you guys do it. I usually do like a springtime tower and then I'll kind of plant in the fall. And I'm running 3 towers this year. So I planted 2 trays of seedlings, believe it or not, which is 180 seedlings. And I only needed, you know, 25 or so times. I only needed about 75. So I have way too many. But you might only need 1 tray, for what you're doing. But we have a lot of tower garden customers in the community, and this is pretty much what we have left after giving everything away. So I hate to say it, but I might throw up another tower and just grow all that lettuce because now, why am I growing 3 or 4 tower gardens worth of lettuce? I mean, it's all going to be ripe at the same time. Well, guess what? Our next post will be, oh my gosh, we have so much lettuce. We don't know what to do. Anybody want to come over for some free organic lettuce? And people will show up. Now, I could say, and I know it's tempting, I could say, lettuce, 2 for $5, and there would be people that come by, but now you're in a business transaction. And they kind of expect like it should be bagged up, it should be washed, they hand you the money and they leave. But when they come over and they're getting free lettuce, let me tell you, that lettuce ain't going to be picked. It's going to be on the tower garden. So they're going to have to come out back. We're going to pull it out, show them all the roots. So yeah, we're going to end up getting at least 1, maybe 2 tower garden sales out of this, which isn't our main business anymore, but it's 150 bucks a sale, you know?
Right.
It's just a great event. There's great conversations. We didn't even bother with snacks and things like that. To be honest with you, we probably should have had smoothies and maybe some superfood powder. I mean, we could have done better, but we kept it super casual, and we definitely have new friends in the community. We have new conversations. We have people that are interested in Juice Plus or Tower Gardens, and it's just great.
Right. So people are sending me pictures, like somebody took basil and they're grafting it. And somebody else put on Facebook a picture of all the things they planted from, and tagged us. So, it's a little bit of social media and
Oh
social
yeah.
stuff
Well,
too.
let me also say, and so I don't know how your group is, but you'll notice the name of our group is Residents of Eagle Landing. We're not allowed to sell in that group, but
Mm.
it's where everybody in the whole community is. So we have to be kind of sly. For instance, we went to set up somebody's tower garden this weekend, and Sharon did a great post. And it was just like a picture of everybody around the tower garden saying, "Welcome to the tower garden family." And then now other people are like, "Oh, I need some info. What is that thing?" You know what I mean? Um, what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to tell you that if you grow your seedlings in rock wool, you can still put them in the dirt. You know what I mean? So I always make sure everybody knows, like we don't even say we have ceilings for this or for that. When they come over, that's part of the fun conversation is what the heck is this growing in? And then you're like, oh yeah, we don't grow in dirt. Where do you grow? Oh, I have raised beds. Oh my gosh, I don't know how you do that. Don't you have to water it all the time? Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, look what we got going here. This thing is self-watering and blah, blah, blah. So it's just a very natural event. I
Yeah.
love this event.
And then we do vendor events if they have them here. So like this morning, Lamont is asking me about the Tower Garden, and he was at a vendor event and he knows that we did this over the weekend. So it just all adds up and you make friends, and then there's number of exposures, and eventually it all comes to fruition at different times. You never know. But yeah, I did use a little more social media than usual by saying, welcome to the Tower Garden family. I've seen that with like Jessie Lepicki, like, congratulations to whoever for starting her superfood journey or whatever. You know what? At this point, why not? Because,
Yeah, it
it's not,
worked.
it does work. Okay, Nalani, go ahead.
Yeah, I just had a question. I went to my residence and they don't allow you to post. Now, that's a suggestion though. You think I could go to them and say, listen, that I
Yes.
posted up. Okay.
They don't allow you to post at all?
Yeah, you can comment.
Oh,
Yeah, you can comment, but I don't see a place to post.
you can never post in the group. You can make your own group.
I
Because
would
one
totally
of
make your
ours
own group.
is residents of Eagle Landing, another group is Eagle Landing residents. So you could be residents of whatever and get.
Right, reveal Heathrow. Okay.
Yeah, and
Well,
then I mean, of course, everybody that lives in your neighborhood in that group, I would probably want to like friend them. I mean, I would be very active in that group and make sure you're getting to know people, and then maybe DM them and say, "Hey, I have another group where it's not so controlled." I mean, because what happens like when somebody, wants to give away lettuce or something? There's no post to do it on. What
right.
happens when it's Food Truck Friday and somebody wants to say, "Hey, there's food trucks are coming over to the park on Friday." It's like we want to be in a community, not have a Gestapo running things.
Well, I think that they may be open. We'll see.
Oh, maybe
Oh, yeah,
you.
you can all ask the admins
I'll
to turn
ask
on.
first. Yeah,
Yeah, it's true. That would be your best bet.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Well, let's get to our agenda for today. And if somebody could repost the link I put into the chat on Zoom, I already put the link into the Facebook chat, and eventually I'll get it to the YouTube. But these are the notes for today. This is a real situation from somebody you guys may or may not know. And by the way, the person that this is from, you don't have to fess up to this. Nobody will ever know. But it's not a big deal because we all have this, or this is a very common thing. Okay. Um, a partner that's having trouble building a team, but they're very good at getting customers. Okay. That probably describes a lot of us, right? Like if I said to you guys, I'll give you $500 if you get 5 customers before the end of the month, like 10 days from now. I mean, I don't know about you, but most of us, if it was for an extra 500, we could make it happen, right? But if I said you got to get 3 team members before the end of the month or 5 team members, that'd be a different story. See, even me, I lowered the number for team. So I have some stinking thinking about building team too, right? So I saw it as harder. It's not harder. It's just you're selling something different. So we put this into my Juice Plus trained AI that's kind of about like guiding you in the business. And it had some really good strategies. The strategies were so good that Sharon and I decided we want to share it with you guys and discuss on a lunch and learn. So this is what AI recommended in order to coach the partner. First of all, um, a lot of times partners will feel like a failure. Can anybody relate to that? If you feel like you can't build team as well as you can get customers, it's like, how am I doing this? And then you look at other people that are like walking across the stage and getting awards and all this stuff, and it's like, oh, what's wrong with me? Um, so reframing the story, this is like from a coaching aspect, or even what you might tell yourself. You're not failing, you're building a skill. You're getting good at getting customers and caring for them is proof that you can do it. You can build trust. You can sell to people. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm not a salesperson." Well, if you're getting customers, you're a salesperson. Okay. Um, Now we just have to shift that same skill to inviting others to grow with you and to maybe grow a business. And every business builder started right here. Sharon, do you want to share a little bit? I mean, Sharon and Nalani, you guys have been in the game a long time. I would love to hear from each of you, what it was like for you starting out and like navigating the whole customer versus team thing.
I'll let Nalani go first. Go ahead, Nalani, if you want. You look so beautiful, by the way.
Thanks. Okay. I'm thinking back on how I got team members from the beginning. And it really was the system. It was doing exactly what was recommended by my mentors. That's really what did it. And staying close to the not the fire.
The
Staying
campfire.
close to the campfire, right? Because doing it, I think that the biggest problem is trying to do it alone.
Mm.
Oh, it can't be, but so hard. Oh, I know what to do. And then it doesn't get done because you don't know what to do. And you may know what to do, you may not know how to do it. So for me, it was the way I got customers was to do exactly what was recommended in the exact same way. And it worked for me.
You guys ever work out with a trainer? And when you're doing like weight training with a trainer, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of like, I mean, guys love bench pressing. So we're bench pressing, and you're
Right.
like, oh, there's 7. And then you like barely get up to 8. And then your workout buddy like just puts a finger on the bar, and somehow you make it up there. And then they say the thing you never want to hear. All right, let's go. 2 more.
Two more.
Like 2 more? How the heck am I going to do 2 more? I could barely do that many. But you know what? Then you go down, and now they got maybe 2 hands on the bar. They're still not pushing very hard. They're just guiding it up. That's the same thing that happens in the business, because what Nalani was saying, I'm just saying it a different way. You go out there, you share with people, you get discouraged, and then if you're alone, you're done with all your reps. But if you have a buddy with you or a mentor, they say it's okay, you're learning, we learned from that, let's try again, let me see what you're sending as messages, so yeah. And also I do want to point out Nalani's a QNMD. She has long-term success in this business, and I just love it that when we ask a question, she's literally quoting like our words back to us, like staying around the campfire and things like that. You know what I mean? So she's connected, and that's part of her success.
One other thing is holding their hands.
Mm.
I remember that Julie used to actually take them to Facebook and say, okay, here's your first post. Remember, she used to teach us that. And actually, like you said, find out what they're doing and how, and hold their hand and help them to do it if they're ready to do that.
Yeah. What about you, Sharon?
Okay, well, I've had, on and off journey with getting team members. And the very first one was at the very end of my 60 days. Back then, it was the 1-10-1, and then I think later it changed to 10-1-10. But basically, it was 20 orders of duo, 1 team member, and they had to at least have 1 order. So I knew I needed a team member. But Abby came to me and she's like, well, how do I get this at a discount? So if you can have that conversation with somebody about how you can get it at a discount, I said, well, you need about 5 orders to pay for yours. She's like, I'm getting 10. I'm like, oh, okay. Because she says, I want to pay for Dennis's too. So that's how it started. And I think I really didn't even know what I was doing, because then she asked me so many questions that I didn't even want to know, but I had to learn because of her. So I did keep close to the campfire back then because I was in touch with Julie, Julie and Amy. That was all I had really back then. And they were new, fairly new. Amy wasn't as new. So there was that. But then it became desperate times after that. Abby was doing great. She just set the world on fire. And I think her good, thing that she did was talk to everybody. She talked to everybody. She introduced the business to everybody. I was not like that. And though I did want team members, so then I would buy their distributorship, or I would say, hey, this really sounds like perfect for you with like this hockey guy. And he's like, yeah, it does. And I even sent him a bunch of cassette tapes to get him started. So I was more like, let me pay for you to become a distributor. It wasn't like I had real belief, I guess, in them,
I just want to clarify that you're not saying that's good.
no, this is
You're saying
terrible.
that was a bad thing. Yeah.
Right. And I did that for a while. But like Abby was like ignorance on fire. She was just out there telling everybody, and she did think it was the best thing ever. So I think I just had a belief problem. And then finally I got another really awesome team member, Stacy Turner, from going to a trade show booth and just hitting it off with her and mentioning the business. And I had become more confident because I was starting to realize I need to do presentations. And so it was like a different time, it was like 3 years in, then, there's just different people who are more open. So I was more like waiting for the perfect conversation, I think. So I think now though, it'd be good to introduce it as part of, here's what we offer.
Mhm.
And this is what I did, which is what's,
But you felt that what we're talking about though. You felt like you could get some customers, but the business was a little tougher to share.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's a normal feeling,
It's
you
totally
know?
normal.
So
And they,
let's
sorry,
go
go.
ahead.
They say that 85% of the people in Juice Plus are customers, which is a beautiful thing because we have such a superstar product. But it also holds us back because we don't introduce the business as much.
Yeah. So and people that are on here, I see Lisa, Jennifer, Susan. Um, do you relate to this a little bit, Jennifer, as far as the difficulty of getting customers versus team, right? So what if we go ahead?
I was gonna say yes, I totally
Yeah.
relate to that.
Yeah. So what if we reframe it a little bit though? What if we leverage the strengths, like what we've already learned? Like I know Jennifer's business a little bit, and she's has no problem getting customers, So, but what do we do, or how can we leverage our strengths in getting customers, and to learn to do that with partners? So like let's ask some questions. Like how do we connect so well with customers? We're probably listening, sharing stories, checking in. I mean, even this weekend, Sharon, think about how we talk to people. We're listening to them, we're sharing stories, but we were directing all of our conversation towards plants, health, and things like that. But we're guilty of it too, and we're doing this because we're learning. We want to grow. Um, we didn't guide the conversations towards um, maybe finances or making a little extra money. I'm just going to speak, and maybe we can just discuss this a little bit. I feel like that's a kind of like a deeper conversation, more personal, more intimate conversation. Maybe that's part of it too, is that we have to go a little deeper. Any thoughts on that, anyone?
I have I have thoughts, I don't know, maybe questions.
Hmm.
I feel like maybe one reason why I feel like it's sometimes easier to get a customer is because, especially if you follow Bob Heilig, he's always telling you to listen for the problem and then offer your products as a potential solution. I think it's easier to identify problems related to health than it is necessarily problems related to finances. I think maybe people are more open to talking about their health issues
Hmm.
versus like I'm drowning in debt or something like that. And so I think it's a little for me it's been a little harder to um, ask questions, ask leading questions that help me identify the problem where the business is a solution. With the exception of that being someone looking for community, that's an easy one. But when someone's not necessarily looking for community, that's just random thoughts on a Monday from me.
Listen, I'm taking notes over here. You're spitting gold.
Mhm.
Go ahead,
Woohoo.
Nalani.
I was just thinking the solution is in the system that we have, which is to share our to share our business
Ah,
story, right? So we don't come out of nowhere and start talking about a business for them. However, at the end of telling the product story, it's, you know, my husband and I moved down to Florida. We were living off our savings. And people didn't realize that, but we were looking for another way. So that's how I began my business story. So I'm thinking if we really get to help our team members and we do ourselves hone our business stories as well as we do our
hmm.
product story, that would get rid of some of that icky feeling about talking about business because you're talking about yourself and then people can relate to that.
That's true. I had a thought this morning that I would love to share with you guys because if you like I get down sometimes when I'm like, oh, I'm not making as much as I want, or I've been in a decline for a little bit. And I went back and I mentally tabulated all of my paychecks from the last 10 years, almost like 9 years. Think about how much money that was that I would not have had. Like, I know it didn't seem like a lot. There were some months that weren't so great, and definitely I had to work up to a certain level, and I kind of plateaued for a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm not obviously not going to say numbers because I know this is all being recorded, but think about how much money has come in, even if Juice Plus were to go out of business today. Like
Mhm.
I look back on what I have made, and that's just monetary, not, the personal growth and stuff like that. I challenge anybody that's been in the business for a while and maybe you're a little bummed about your paycheck's not where you want it to be. Look back at your total earnings from the beginning and imagine, wow, whatever that number is, you wouldn't have had that without this.
And don't compare it to a full-time salary from somebody. Compare
Right.
it to how much, I mean, an honest assessment of how much time, like the average person that's going to see this video in Facebook, how many hours, I won't even say a day, how many hours a week are you putting into the business? And it's just really a few hours a week. And it's probably a significant amount of money. It adds up. Yeah. So I like this and I wanted to put what the AI said up here, but I think we can improve it. Making team building feel natural, not salesy. I think what Nalani said, I mean, we could just almost delete all these things. I mean, use your product story as a bridge instead of using it as a bridge, as it says here, to say, have you ever considered helping others feel this good? That's okay. But maybe what if we use our product story as a bridge and just go right into our business story? In the same way, I love Julie Herp's suggestion, and I do this now. If I'm at the golf course and somebody says, "What do you do, Doug?" I mean, I could be like, "Well, I'm in network marketing," or I could like not want to be all network marketing-ish and be like, "Well, I'm in health and wellness sales and blah blah blah." No, instead, if they ask you what you do, tell your product story. Well, 20 years ago, my wife and I were introduced to a product, and it is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and we've had better health and da da da. And we love it so much that she started sharing it as a business 25 years ago, and it just continued to grow, 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 grow. Then eventually I got involved, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Eventually she was making more than I was. So I was like, heck no, I'm not going to do this 9 to 5 thing. So I ditched the 9 to 5, and that's what we do now. We help people get healthier, and we help people build businesses just like we did and that all starts from the product story, and then I just bridge it right into the business story, and then you just see what they say you know I wouldn't go right into, have you ever thought about doing something like that too? No, just wait and see what they say. Anybody want to say anything? I don't want to do a lecture here.
I was just saying that's
Made me
really cool.
laugh
I would,
because you sound so, what's the word? It was in my head.
Awesome.
No, so dorky. So, so not correct. Oh, do you ever think about doing it yourself?
Oh, another cool way to make team building, feel natural, and this is what I want to start doing. I really want to start doing this, is the behind the scenes business moments. Like I was just telling Sharon, because I'm doing some AI stuff now and kind of launching like kind of another thing. Um, and I'm like, gosh, how do I share this? And like, do I have to start all new accounts with this new business? But I was telling Sharon, I don't know about you guys, but I like when my friends have businesses and they share about their business. Like there's a guy in our neighborhood in the golf course. His website is callbeforemomfalls.com. And he's all about customizing houses and showers and stairs and handrails and all that. to help older people to be safer in their house. Then there's another guy. He's actually a Primerica rep, and he's a great golfer. And his golf cart is customized. It says the golfing finance guy, and he shares a lot of finance stuff right on his wall. And it leads to conversations with me and him about business. And because that's a financial network marketing, we kind of talk about team building and cool stuff like that. So sharing behind the scenes and not feeling like we have to keep it like some kind of a weird secret. Like it's a secret that there's a business. It doesn't have to be like that. It can, what if you were like proud of your business? Maybe it'd be less weird. I mean, the fact that we're secret about our business, if somebody's a doctor and they're like, man, great day at the love seeing patients get better, you'd be like, great job, you're amazing. A friend of mine's an OBGYN in Orlando, and he's always posts stuff about his staff, and they're like today's dress up day and today's special day and blah blah blah, and like they have so much fun in the office, and it's just super cool when he does that. So I think not being ashamed of our business would also kind of warm people up to talking about it as well. Sharon, you better just unmute and leave it unmuted because you're supposed to be jumping in here. You're my upline.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. All right. So what if we talk about some challenges? What if we talk about ways that we could help this person that can get, and we're really talking about ourselves, right? They can get customers, but they struggle with getting team because we all want more team. What if we help them focus on small daily actions? We don't want to overwhelm. A lot of people are doing this, remember, just a few hours a week. So what if we have a few suggestions? Let's see what AI thought, and then we will add to it and make it better because we are smarter for now. All right. Each week, share the business side with 2 customers who are loving their products. Invite 1 or 2 people to a team event or business info session. Or practice sharing your own why for the business, not just the product. So like just being intentional. Does anybody do any of that kind of stuff? Or I know I have something we could share, Sharon, but I'm gonna let other people maybe speak up. Or maybe some other ideas about a small step somebody could take to be bold or maybe just be intentional about sharing the business with people.
Well, that first one reminds me of what Wendy Campbell taught us, that when she first signs up a customer, she offers the business right there and says, listen, you might not be interested now, but things change and times change and people change. And who knows, 4 months from now or 4 years from now, it might be a different situation. So every 4 months, I'm going to invite you to take a look because things do change and it's a possibility. So that way, when you do approach your customers, they already know that you've told them that you would do this. So you don't feel kind of weird because you can say, remember when you started with Juice Plus, I said I was going to remind you that there's an opportunity to bring some income in with it and take it from there.
And I love that you have the business events, Nalani, each month. Each week. That's really awesome. So I think sometimes we always go to the product and we don't necessarily have business events that we can think, oh, we have business events. So now we need to make sure we are intentional about inviting people to the business event. Because if we're always inviting to a health event, that's what's going to happen. So having maybe even, we like live events. So having some kind of, I don't know, cocktail business meetup or breakfast in business or something to just have people that we could then say, hey, we're having this meeting because we don't even do that at this point. So
we're going to table that idea. I want to hear the other ideas from people. I want to come back to that, Sharon, because I think that's a challenge, but we're going to talk about some ideas. Jennifer, did you have something?
For a minute, I was doing some finance events because I saw a really big need out there for women having very little financial education and financial intelligence. And after watching a lot of women go through divorce and basically be really screwed. And so I was using these finance events not only to help give education. So it was like a very much a value added event because no matter what, you got something really good out of it. But then also say, at the end, I would actually say a big reason why I'm able to do a lot of things like this is because I have this second stream of income and this is what it means and blah, 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 blah. So I I have not actually got any teammates for that, but I felt like it was a good idea, but I probably just needed to do it longer and keep going
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to propose to Jennifer that her and I can buddy up on that.
Yeah.
I'll stick to the Juice Plus side. You could do the economics side. We can see what happens.
Okay.
And
Being near each other?
No,
Oh, no,
this
I meant
virtual.
Zoom.
Oh, you mean on the Zoom?
I tend to do the
Maybe
vast
you
majority
move.
of my stuff Zoom. Because we move constantly.
Well, and I mean, my goodness, I mean, Jesse Lepicki is a fast mover right now in the company. So, Jesse, I know you're in our group too. Jesse's everywhere. She's not on our team. You guys know that, right? And she's just in our group because she wants to hang out with people that are working and getting her done. And that's what we try and do too. You know, look at there, she's a picture with another one getting her done. Rachel Smart, who happens to live right near her. But watch this. When I went to search Jessie because I wanted to show you guys something, it said 6 new posts. I mean, she's very active on social media, but she's doing a watch party. But watch this. I'm just gonna scroll down, and you're gonna see business. Okay. She got a title reward or rewards for the Strive for Five. So she shares it. A lot of us got a Strive for Five, but we didn't share it. But now she's showing people the company rewards us for helping others get healthy. She's telling people her business story, what she does. And then in the same post, she invites them to the Reset 25. Um, she has another thing going right now. Well, I think this is a business post too, looking for a mama's helper 2 to 3 days a week. I mean, the fact that she's working from home and she still wants a mama's helper kind of shows that she can afford to get a mama's helper and blah 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 and all this stuff. She's doing something right now though. I don't know. I can't find it on this wall. But let me just say that she had a post the other day somewhere that I saw, and it said something about there's something coming, and she's working on some kind of a PDF
Yes.
or something to like kind of make it where she has something to offer moms who would like to make a little bit of money from home. And that's a really clever way to offer the business to people without saying, "Hey, do you want to join my network marketing company?" So I think, and it just, Melissa, if you see this replay, we were just brainstorming what a business event might be called or something creative. What if it was about just making some extra money from home? And what if you did a little bit of the other stuff and then you focus more on what we do? You know what I mean? So I think that's really some good ideas, and following other people that are doing stuff is really helpful. I wanted to go back to this, Sharon. Like you said, what if we did a business info session? Now, that's a tougher invite, because think about it. If you say because think about the way we invite to our events. It might be sourdough, but it's really promoting Juice Plus too. It might be a wine and wellness. I mean, you're going to get people there's some people that'll come to anything if you just say wine, right? We do a healthy potluck, and where we're kind of teaching people how to eat healthier, but we're going to promote Juice Plus at the same time. So if we do a business event, how are we going to market it? We have to pretty much already have the people interested in a business or even our business to even come to the event. So I don't know how we do a business event. I'm literally asking if anybody has ideas on that.
Well, Nolani's inviting to a business event every week.
What's the angle you use on that? What is the pain point? Like Jennifer said earlier, we identify the problem. And that's how we invite because we have a solution. So I'm curious, how do you do your invites and how do you encourage your team to do invites?
I am looking forward to getting better at encouraging my team. to do that. However, in my on my flyers, I liked, at first I was doing the income with impact. Um, what I'm finding is when you show images of people struggling financially, and I say there must be a better way, or are you looking for a better way? Or something like that. Bringing out the pain points of people not having 500 extra dollars for for an emergency, things like that. I am starting, especially after today, to lean toward that more because really that's what the solution is. I mean, that's what we're offering. We're offering to help not have that pain point.
Yeah.
Have a solution, another stream of income. And what I'm finding, somebody else mentioned this to me, I don't remember who it was. It's just that sometimes people who, quote, need it the most are not the ones who will respond to saying another stream of income. But people who do have money, they're looking for another stream of income. People
That's
who,
true.
they are looking for, because they have that financial intelligence that Jennifer was talking about. And so they're looking for it. However, other people tend to respond better if you hit their pain point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I think some people, there's different types of people, right? There's some people that handle the pain of needing more money in their budget differently. Some go into like a scarcity mindset and they cancel everything. They start eating ramen noodles, things like that. Um, but then there's other people that I'm kind of proud of the fact, Sharon and I aren't the best at money management, to be honest with you, just to be transparent. We could do a lot better. We tend to spend a lot of money, but we enjoy spending our money. And I've always said we're a lot better at figuring out how to make more money than to figure out ways to be a better steward of our money. And I realize we should do both, but that's kind of a philosophy. It's like, you know what? If I want a bigger house, I'm just gonna. It's kind of a Grant Cardone kind of a philosophy. It's like he says, "Who's got my money?"
Right.
I mean, there's money out there. There's money all over the place. Some people have it sitting in a bank. Some people are spending it. Some are looking for solutions. There's going to be trillions of dollars spent today. You just got to like get it directed toward you, and then figure out ways to go get that. But yeah, I think that's something to really work on. I was talking to Sharon recently, just noticing that right now the main philosophy in Juice Plus that I've noticed is you get customers and then you hope that some kind of a miracle happens. Well, no, and then maybe you can convert some of your customers to team. But then you hope there's a miracle and everybody's thinking, am I going to get a Julie Herbst? Am I going to get a Julie Herbst? Am I going to get a Julie Herbst? But nobody ever says, where's the Julie Herbst of the world? How can I figure out the pain point of a Julie Herbst? I mean, because Julie Herbst wasn't always Julie Herbst, millionaires or whatever. Julie Herbst was was a school teacher that was teaching aerobics on the side, okay, or fitness classes. And she was busy, she was worn out, she was tired, and then she had kids and was like, well, I don't want to be teaching fitness classes and I don't want to be blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go back to teaching in the classroom, you know? So just reversing it a little bit and thinking like a business person. Microsoft doesn't sit like hope for a miracle to get consumers. They figure out what solution they're going to provide and they market to that solution and then you buy the product. Go ahead, Lisa.
I was going to say, I still think it goes back to what Dr. Valentine said, and Doug, Bob Heilig says the same thing. Think about what you were before, and you a great story, Doug. But think about, I was just thinking as I'm sitting here, moms at our church who their kids play baseball or softball or whatever sport it is, they need money. Okay,
Heck yeah,
we just
nowadays.
act like they don't need money. I mean, I look back now as somebody who's almost 65 years old. Um, I wished I had done these things.
All right, Lisa, we're gonna stop you there. You're really breaking up. And I do want to give Lisa props because she's on the power hour every morning at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And her internet's really bad up in Maine. And Sharon, could you mute her? I don't know if she can hear me. But Lisa, we're gonna hold off. You're breaking up too much. She goes not in her house. She goes and sits in her car and does the power hour, just like right now. She's sitting in her car because she gets better reception. Next level, Lisa, you might need to drive somewhere where you find even better reception. Then we'll get you there. But I'm sorry. But what she was saying is, yeah, there's people in the church that the kids are in. I mean, think about it. The things are expensive nowadays. If you know people that have kids in sports, these travel teams, forget about it. They're spending thousands of dollars. People are spending thousands of dollars on things. Go ahead, Sharon.
I like what Lisa said, so I just want to reiterate it. Julie and I did not come into the business thinking it was a business. We thought it was just something that we needed to share or wanted to share. For me, it was fun money. It was like, oh, 20 bucks here, 20 bucks there. Never thought it was going to turn into something bigger. So I like that Lisa said, put yourself back to who you were before, and why you signed up, and then bring them along that journey. Like there's a girl coming over after this, and she at first wanted the business, but I think that she had some objections. So if I just bring myself back to who I was at age 32 and say, you know what, I didn't know any of that either. Instead of coming at it from who I am now, and however I've answered her before, So I thought that was a really good reminder, Lisa, about that. And that we were working also, we were full time. But we both had kids. That's what changed as far as our why. So we were working and, just doing it for fun. So you don't have to find just the people that are stay-at-home moms. You can find people that are making an income, whether it's a teacher or guidance counselor or whatever. Lisa Radici was a guidance counselor. I was. There's plenty of teachers on our team. So look for those people, like Doug said, who don't mind a secondary stream of income. Who doesn't want more money, more fun money?
Yeah, you got to just think open-minded. Like I'm looking at Jennifer Martinson, who's into extreme sports. Listen, I'm not into extreme sports, but I bet you it isn't a cheap thing. There's a lot of equipment involved, there's travel involved. So what if you had extra money to go to Switzerland to do some snowboarding? You know what I mean? What if you could go to do some kiteboarding in Australia because you have extra money? I mean, these are things in the extreme sports community she could talk about. So whatever community you're in, you're going to have options. Let's finish up with a few like a fire hose of ideas. We'll see what this AI came up with, and then we'll maybe add some of challenges of what people could do right now. So the question is, what's one thing you could do this week that would move them, that they could do this week that would move them closer to sharing the business? Just one conversation, message, or invite, or whatever. Okay, so how about we ask a happy customer? That's a low pressure thing. You already know your customers. If some of you guys have Nalani mentioned it earlier. Wendy Campbell. I mean, if you've ever been on a coaching with Wendy Campbell, I know Sharon doesn't love when I say this because she's afraid I'm going to discourage people from getting customers, but that's not the point. If you're getting a coaching for Wendy Campbell and she sees that you have like 53 customers, she's going to start yelling. She's not going to understand. Why would you have more than 25 customers? Why aren't you offering the business to people? If somebody's been ordering this product over over for a year or two or three or four, why would you hold back from helping them get a better price? Or if they love it that much, what if you help them understand how to share it? So talk to your customers, especially your long-term customers. Behind the scenes business moment. Remember, we talked about this. Post a story or a reel about a team call. You can do like, even just as something as simple as screenshotting the window. On the Zoom right now, you don't have to look at what it gave you as far as looking at us. You can change the view and make it look differently, and then take a screenshot of the Zoom. That was my timer going off, by the way. You can show just a Zoom. Nobody's going to really know what it's about. Just show the faces and say, team call this morning, talking business, love being able to work from home, stuff like that. There you go. Never thought working from home could feel this fun. If you're a little curious, let's chat.
That's like what what Lisa was talking about.
Yeah.
In chat.
And then personal invites, to a business info event. There's one other event that we need to get back to doing it, because I told Shay we were going to be doing it here in Jacksonville, Sharon, and that's what we call a sizzle session. We do these things called sizzle sessions. It's from this book called The 45-Second Presentation about network marketing, but you just get together with some team members, or maybe you just get together on a Zoom. What if you would have had a prospect come on this lunch and learn? Would it scare them off? Not if they were kind of sort of interested in the business. They might say, "Oh, this is cool. You get training like this? I don't get training at my job." You know what I mean? So a sizzle session is where you meet up at a restaurant or a coffee shop and you talk business with other people. And then maybe people overhear you. You talk to people in the coffee shop, or you just talk about business. And it's good. And you take pictures, you put it on your social media. Um, any other ideas of like a challenge or something people could do this week? Can we share the poster for Nalani's event tonight?
No, Lonnie, where's that? On Boxer?
Yeah, did I post it today? I
You
usually
might still have it, Sharon, in the post you just unpinned, right?
Hold
We have
that.
sourdough in the oven, and Shelly Fritz is coming by right now, so we're
Oh,
going.
I had the one with Doug, but hold on.
Huh.
Hold on.
Well, we'll put
Nalani's-
it in the Boxer chat.
Yeah, we'll put it in the Facebook post. But every Monday and Friday, Nalani has a business event, and on Wednesday, and these are at 8 p.m., she has a product event. And me, Sharon, and Melissa are going to be hijacking one of those business events, maybe two per month. Nalani and I are in negotiations right now, and it's going to be super exciting. And I think I might be speaking on her event tonight as a special guest.
Yeah, I thought you were last time, and
On Friday, no, we said Monday.
you said Monday, and I didn't realize that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we got Liza saying she's going to commit to sharing her business 2 times this week and weekly. So yeah, that's the only way that you can really meet the 5-1. So the overall great goal that Wendy Campbell came up with is to have 5 new people ordering Juice Plus and 1 new team member. And then you help that new team member get to Partner Plus. The following month, you have the 5-1, 5, I just saw your note, 5 customers, 1 new team member that you help get to Partner Plus, but also you're helping finish the partner that you had go to Partner Plus last month. You're helping them get to QSC. Then that is really good. And Doug, you are crazy. Okay, I need to be more open with what I do and make it sound fun. Yes, that's good. You are fun. That's for sure, Jennifer. Okay, so that was it. And we are excited to go out and get new team. I think that really is the lifeblood of our business. And we just need to be more bold about talking about it and bringing ourselves back to who we were when we said yes. And then just bring them along the journey. Say, this is what happened. I can bring you along the journey. It's just one foot in front of the other. It's not something to be stressed out about. It's something that is like winning a lottery ticket. It's awesome. Okay. All right, good seeing you guys, and we will see you on other Zooms and Voxer and everywhere else.
We'll be at the beach this week starting tomorrow, but we'll still be online. I'm not online, but we'll still be available. We're going to be doing like a vacation, but also working vacation. And of
But we
course,
will
we
not
need.
be on next Monday. That's Memorial Day, and we are in a pickleball tournament.
Oh, good. So the following week after that, you better hold on and come on to this lunch and learn because who knows what we're going to come up with when we get 5 days of planning alone.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be fun.
It's true. Now,
Right.
if Doug wants to come on, I think that you're not in the pickleball.
Oh, wait, you got another partner. You're playing
I
with me.
did. I forgot I ditched you. I didn't really, but yeah, I better end the Zoom.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
Continue.
Thanks
Bye,
for
When are you
coming on.
talking notions?
What?
Is he talking notions with Melissa?
Oh.
Did he
Did-
just